Guy Mowbray and Stuart Robson will be your commentators.
Will it have sky blue, all red ribbons on at the end of the day? It is one of the greatest occasions in world sport. The FA Cup final, the world's oldest football cup competition. Let's hope we get a game to match the magnificent build-up that we've enjoyed in a vintage FA Cup year.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our chief guest today, Corporal Mark Ward, who will now be presenting the teams alongside
Tony Pulis greets the chairman of the FA, David Bernstein, on with the guest of honour, who today is Corporal Mark Ward, awarded the Military Cross for his work in Afghanistan. He is actually a Manchester City supporter, but he says it will be a great honour whichever captain he will be presenting the FA Cup to at the end of this exciting afternoon. From the Mercian Regiment, based at Catterick Garrison, you can see what a thrill it is for him to be here. Martin Atkinson, the referee, great honour for him as well. One of the Premier League's most respected officials. Does have a bit of history with Stoke this season. There was a pretty feisty game at Sunderland in November. Ryan Shawcross sent off in that. I'm sure Tony Pulis will remember that. He had some harsh words to say about Mr. Atkinson afterwards. Roberto Mancini. I'm sure most of these players need no introduction to David Bernstein, who is the former chairman of Manchester City as well as being the man at the top of the FA. I'm sure his allegiances will be slightly leaning towards the blue today. Something new for entire generations of supporters of these two clubs. Carlos Tevez, past fit to lead Manchester City today. First of all, leads his players down the line of Stoke players they'll be up against today. Let's take a look at the lineups named by Messrs Mancini and Pulis. We'll start with Manchester City, who make 4 changes in their last game. The win over Spurs in midweek that got them a place in the Champions League next season. Kolarov in for Zabaleta, Barry fit again to replace Milner, Tevez in for Dzeko, and perhaps surprisingly Mario Balotelli starts, preferred to Adam Johnson down the left-hand side.
Mancini has been criticised for using Yaya Toure as an attacking midfield player, but he's now the most dangerous runner with the ball in English football, as we saw in the semi-final against Manchester United. Combined with Silva's passing ability to find space, these two are key to City's attacking threat.
Here's the other City, Stoke. Just a couple of changes made by Tony Pulis to his Potter's team that were so impressive, beating Arsenal last Sunday. Thomas Sorensen back in goal for Asmir Begovic. He is the regular cup keeper. He's played in every FA Cup game this season. And Matty Etherington, past fit, he comes in for Dean Whitehead and will play on the wing for Stoke. Etherington, who has missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury that he sustained against Wolves. Robert Huth also was a last-minute call, a knee injury last weekend, but he too has been given the green light to play.
John Walters is Stoke's key player. When Man City have possession, he will need to drop into midfield, and when Stoke have the ball, he must link up with Jones, both short of him and at times beyond him. If Walters plays well, Stoke could certainly upset Man City.
John Walters was one of the heroes of Stoke's 5-0 demolition of Bolton Wanderers in the semi-final. Scored the last 2 of those 5 goals. Well, they often say in any cup match form goes out of the window. Both of these clubs are in pretty good form. Stoke 5 games unbeaten. That run began with their win over Bolton in the last round. Manchester City have won 4 of their last 5 in all competitions. Just wonder if they'll play with the shackles off now that they've got their place in the Champions League playoff to start with for next season. Their mission for the season is accomplished, but what those Sky Blue supporters really want is a trophy. And this is the one that they want. And Sky Blue, it's red and white stripes, and it's John Walters straight away into the Manchester City penalty area, where he's dealt with by Company, and Joe Hart gets an early, pretty comfortable first feel of the ball.
Yeah, a good header by Kenwyne Jones, or a good jump by Kenwyne Jones. Walters, what we were talking about, running beyond him, getting to the next knockdown. That was a worrying moment for Man City.
Carlos Tevez on the move, as he almost always is. Came back as a substitute against Spurs on Tuesday after missing 4 games, including the semi-final against Manchester United, with a hamstring problem. His fitness then, perhaps questionable. Etherington's and Huth's for Stoke, definitely. Robert Huth, I did read this week, has been having sugar injections in a bid to get fit over that knee injury sustained only 6 days ago.
Looking at you, I think you've had a few sugar injections as well.
Yeah, they were very beneficial as well. Carlos Tevez with the trick stuff, but too tight to the touchline for it to work. I'm right in saying he's the only supporter of either of these two sides playing today. Came off his heel there for Tevez. Tevez has gone for goal and forced the save from Sorensen. First shot of the game, and it was on target from Carlos Tevez. Now a Stoke break led by Etherington. Doesn't come to anything. First signs of the pace picking up at Wembley.
This is the shot a little while ago, just takes a deflection off Shawcross knee. Good save from Sorensen.
Wilson's had a bit of a nervous start at left back for Stoke. That one put out of play for a Man City throw. Richards will take it. Tevez lays it off towards Silva, but it was Shawcross's to clear. Jones with a bit of a gripe towards the referee, felt he was bumped before the ball had got there.
I think he was as well. Tried to run forward and Company just knocked him to the ground.
Balotelli now. Manchester City with a ball over the top of the defenders. Kolarov, very much an attack-minded fullback. Robert Huth takes it away from keeper Sorensen. Toure, Balotelli, straight against Huth and Shawcross combined. Barry looks for Tevez. Manchester City get the corner. And it is the team in light blue that is just starting to flex its muscle.
In amongst all that, there was a really good clearance from Robert Huth. Got into a good position, defended it well. He didn't try and hit it too hard, he just got a lot of air on it, a lot of distance. Man City's positional rotation, movements causing Stoke problems.
Put away by Whelan. Here's Tevez. Barry. Kolarov. David Silva on the move. Trying to tee up Nigel de Jong. And de Jong hits it. And hits it hard. But only into the Stoke supporters behind that goal.
It's actually a good play from Ryan Shawcross, the centre half. He ran past a couple of midfield players to go and close de Jong down. But they're defending very deeply at the moment, Stoke. Watch when the ball gets played. There's Ryan Shawcross. He comes past a couple of players and gets out and just puts de Jong under a bit of pressure. Well, he's telling his midfield, you get out there and close the ball down.
And Stoke won through 3-1 in a replay after extra time. And all of those who know about these things have been telling us all day long that this one is set for extra time today too. Long way to go before we get there. This is Kolarov, drove it in, and it was turned into the side netting by Shawcross, who must have had his heart in his mouth for a moment.
Well, he's in a good position, but again, Man City get Kolarov out. Pennant's having to go back this time. That's because Wilkinson's been taken in by Balotelli. He just sticks his leg out. It's a good position he's taken up. Both him and Huth are good defenders when the ball comes into the box.
A row going on between Walters and Balotelli, and it culminated in both of them falling to the floor. Watch this space. I say space, there's not a lot of it in that Stoke box. Here's Toure, he's got plenty of space. What a drive from Yaya Toure! And his body language tells you that that was mighty close.
Well, Stoke are defending so good. They cleared the ball and just stayed in their box. When it comes to Yaya Toure, takes a couple of touches, strikes it really well, always just going away from goal, just cuts across it. Wasn't far though, was it?
Thomas Sorensen wasn't getting that.
No, he was beaten by the pace of it.
Such a good pass that from Mark Wilson. De Jong, Balotelli with a neat layoff for Toure. Here goes Kolarov again. He spent more time in the Stoke half than his own, the left back. Now, Balotelli's down in the centre. As though he ran into something, or vice versa.
It's completely off the ball. Kolarov was just about to cross it.
Martin Atkinson brings play to a halt. Thomas Sorensen is just inquiring, well, kinda, as to the welfare of the Italian. What happened? It's Robert Huth, and I tell you what, he points out his elbow.
He certainly does. He just tries to, he lifts his elbow and just catches Balotelli. He's just outside the box. What's Huth doing that for? There it is, right across the face of Balotelli. Yes, Balotelli probably tries to make the most of the situation, but what's he doing, the number 4, Robert Huth?
There's Pennant. Tackled by Kolarov, foul, free kick Stoke.
Just going through the back of Pennant. Does he get the ball? No, he doesn't get the ball. I think Pennant again makes the most of the situation. Assistant referee reacts. Now they've got a chance to deliver the ball into the box. Man City have got to defend it well. Shawcross, Jones, Huth will be the targets.
Pennant swings it in. Hart just watches it all the way into his gloves, unchallenged. Didn't quite get the bend on that, Jermaine Pennant.
Poor delivery. So was that from Joe Hart, but you can see what he's trying to do.
Hetherington. Company had to improvise, got the better of Jones. De Jong has now lost it. Was crunching into Delap to get it back quickly enough. Toure. One for Tevez to chase, and he'll get onto it. Sorensen comes to meet him. Balotelli wants it. Barry and Silva arriving too. It's Balotelli, it's Barry, and it was Robert Huth for Stoke. Tevez pushed off the ball by Pennant. Lovely bit of skill from Pennant to get past Kolarov. Now Stoke's turn to get on with it. John Walters moving forward. The game's opening up at Wembley.
What a pass that was from Yaya Toure over the top for Carlos Tevez.
And Sorensen did just enough to put Tevez off and did really well not to bring him down.
Well, that was the big question when they were both going for the ball. Tevez was never going to score from there. But was he going to be brought down? Tevez just tries to nick it away. Actually, Sorensen, I think, can do better. He could actually catch the ball here, but he goes with one hand for some reason. Ooh, the ball just held up on the grass, but he went with one hand, pushed it onto Tevez. Not too happy at the moment, Tony Pulis, with his size performance. Not shown the energy to close Man City down. They haven't really posed a threat.
Walters and Jones have been posing a threat recently, and Jones has done well. Joe Hart comes to pick up the ball after Company's important block. Here's Silva. Toure. Which way does he go? Trying to do it by himself, Yaya Toure. Now Balotelli. Balotelli! Sorensen flying through the air again, and this time it's a corner.
Well, did Sorensen get a touch on this, or was it a deflection off the defender? It's a great save from Sorensen. Brilliant save. Good play from Yaya Toure to start with that driving run. Balotelli picks his spot, hits it perfectly. They think it's going to be a goal. That's brilliant goalkeeping.
He won't stop. Sorensen. Easy enough. Toure gets back to tackle and win the ball, or rather Richards it was, Micah Richards, who was on his way back into defence. Now it's Tevez. Tevez just leaning back. And Stoke are angry that play wasn't stopped because Walters was down after being caught by Richards. Still 0-0. Up to 27 minutes played of the cup final. Walters will tamely put that one behind.
That's the free kick I was talking about a few minutes ago when they had Robert Huth here, but it was Walters up against Micah Richards. He's always going to struggle to get that back across the goal. There it goes. He is just about onside when the ball was played. A real struggle for him to get it back into the danger area.
Richards. Here's Barry. Balotelli. Couldn't get in and through. Delap presents the ball back to Manchester City and Nigel de Jong. Prowling around the midfield. It's his domain. Tevez. Escapes Pennant's attempted tackle. Balotelli onside, and it's hit over the top and into the ground by Silva. Well, that's two touches of David Silva that we're unaccustomed to seeing.
What a pass from Carles Tevez. Watch when he comes inside here. Balotelli just stays onside, makes the run in behind Robert Huth. Quite sure what Sorensen was doing. Oh, what a chance. Tries to get over the ball. By getting over the ball, he kicks it into the ground. But it was the run of Balotelli, the pass, the vision of Carles Tevez that is causing Stoke problems now.
7 Manchester City shots on goal, 2 from Stoke. Frightening to think what squad they could have next season. Here's Jermaine Pennant flying forward for Stoke. Kenwyne Jones made the space for himself, but then did that with the shot.
All came about because Gareth Barry tried to hit a big diagonal out to Kolarov and got it all wrong and passed it Jermaine Pennant. Jermaine Pennant making ground up well. That's what they've done in recent games. They've counter-attacked really well, Stoke.
Here's Tevez. Managed to hold off Whelan and Pennant. Tevez. Silva. Tevez. Balotelli took it. I think the ball was bound for Toure. Now it's a corner.
You're absolutely right. But once again, good combination play down that left-hand side. Tevez, Silva. And the ball was just about to go to Yaya Toure. I think that's who Tevez was aiming it for.
Silva corner. Lescott has to go it again. Has to go for it again. And now a City throw. Manchester City, that is. Cranking it up as we approach half-time. Toure. Richards. Brought down. Robert Huth. Free kick Manchester City. Yellow card Robert Huth.
Well, I think he's a bit... yes, he gets a yellow card quite rightly, but he's actually going for the ball here and just gets nicked away from him at the last minute. He'd already start to make the challenge, but it's the follow-through that wasn't good. May have been slightly wrong when I first saw that. I thought he went with the left foot. That's unlucky, but what's the right foot doing coming through the back of Man City player?
Balotelli leaves it. Here we go, Kolarov. Got it up all right. It's only just come back down. Tevez looks as though he's struggling a bit, and Pennant's down for Stoke as well. It's 10v10 right now. Play goes on with Etherington, and now Martin Atkinson, the referee, blows his whistle, and promptly Tevez gets straight back to his feet. Pennant, though, different story.
I think they had a collision in that midfield area. Here it comes. Oh, just turns his ankle, Jermaine Pennant. There we go, just puts his foot down, just turns his ankle. Oh,
that could be a bad one.
I said he might have to make changes at half-time. Maybe Pennant that comes off.
Well, the board said just 1 minute extra. We've had that minute, so we might have another one now. I think Jermaine Pennant's cup final could well be over if he's taking the full weight on that.
I think that would be disappointing as well for Pulis, because if one of the wide players was going to cause problems, I think it was Pennant. Etherington, for me, doesn't look fit now on this left-hand side. Hasn't really influenced the game at all, but this is a worrying moment for Stoke fans.
He's not right at the moment. half-time whistle to come in the FA Cup final very, very soon. Manchester City 0, Stoke City 0. First half that has been bossed by the team in blue, but they've got nothing to show for it right now. Got a free kick here, which might just represent one last chance.
Well, that's what Wilkinson's all about. If he can't win the ball, he grabs hold of shirts. There's a little tug on Balotelli on that occasion.
Toure. Not really got the time to pass it around in the middle. Stoke fans think it should be half-time. They would. De Jong. Here's Richards. Cleared by Huth, and that is half-time in the 130th FA Cup final. No goals, 2 or 3 talking points, plenty of Manchester City pressure. But Stuart, Stoke are hanging on.
Just about, because Man City have been dominating that central midfield area. They've been far the better team, Man City. They just need that finish.
Half-time, it's Manchester City 0, Stoke City 0. It'll be Manchester City to get the second half started. No changes made to either side during the half-time break. Manchester City won't want any change to the pattern of play. They will want to dominate the midfield and try and find a way through the Stoke back line. We were mentioning chances, Stuart, and there have been a few to Manchester City. There have been plenty of shots. Only 1 or 2 really clear-cut chances, though. They've been from quite far away from goal.
Yeah, David Silva had that one that he should have scored from. It's been good combination play, but they're just their ability to pass the ball, play around Stoke's pressure when Stoke have been able to put pressure on them in midfield. Man City have found situations like this.
It's Kolarov. Not for the first time. He's taken the wrong option, and he's getting the bird from the Manchester City supporters. Silva, Balotelli, Tevez all wanted the cut back. It never came.
What a pass. See, Jermaine Pennant doesn't see the situation, and Wilkinson makes the wrong decision. He goes very, very tight with Tevez. There wasn't too much on, actually, for Kolarov. When you look at it here, where's he going to do? He could cut it back, but very, very difficult.
Short cross. That was Richards, who never quite got high enough. It'll be a Stoke throw. It'll be one for Delap to hurl in.
That gets the Stoke crowd going. Got to get behind their team now. A bit quiet in the first half.
Extra time in the FA Cup meeting. The replay between these teams last season. The goal that gave Stoke the advantage was a short cross header from a Delap throw. It's Huth that goes for it this time. It's going to come out to Jermaine Pennant, who can hit it. And it was going well wide. It came off Balotelli. Had the time to set himself with a shot. Here's Wilkinson. Lescott. Stoke for pretty much the first time in the game with a sustained spell of possession near the Manchester City penalty area. And Shawcross very nearly got to that. It did just nick back off the Stoke player. It'll be a Manchester City throw in. Lescott did his bit.
Wrong decision from Matty Etherington. That's the first time he's shown a bit of skill. Takes his touch inside. He could have shot. He could have got across it himself. Instead he plays it to Shawcross, who was never going to beat Lescott.
Balotelli to Tevez. Etherington came back. Silva gets the ball. Flag's been waved. Handball given against, I think it was Huth. And it's a Manchester City free kick.
You'd have had him off by now, wouldn't you?
Well, he's already gone in the book. I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
I think he did know what he was doing there. Very dangerous.
David Silva to tease it in. Richards is up, Lescott is there. Balotelli and Walters are continuing their own little personal battle. And it comes to Richards. He's trying to climb above everybody, and Martin Atkinson has ruled that it was indeed a climb from the Manchester City fullback.
Certainly was, but it was a great bit of defending by Robert Huth in the box. As it may have been handball. Watch Robert Huth here. Just gets in the way of Micah Richards, so solid in the air. Walters is in there as well.
There goes Lescott. It's come to Pennant, who's running around again like a spring chicken. And he's fouled by Balotelli, who's dancing around as though a grave injustice has just been dealt him.
This style of game is helping Stoke City get back into the game. If Man City keep fouling, keep giving free kicks away, lose their fluidity, it's going to cause them problems. It's just a shove in the back. It's a silly foul. Ridiculous challenge.
And Carlos Tevez has to calm the young man down because, if he starts to lose it, Manchester City could be down to 10. And the Stoke fans will do their bit to wind him up. It's not hard. The pot's boiling. And this is helping, as Stuart's just said, Stoke City all the time, playing into their hands. Etherington. Pennant let it run. Who've had a swing and missed it. Back in from Wilson. Here's Etherington. And Gareth Barry got in the way for Manchester City. Pennant. Too high for Jones. Wilson. Can't get around Richards. Company. Kept his cool marvellously. Now Tevez. Trying to get away from Glenn Whelan. Wilkinson back there too, and David Silva in space. Silva may need somebody else. Certainly didn't have that amount of time.
Well, he needed to get it on his left foot a lot quicker than he did.
Here's De Jong. Hit Tevez. Second half has sparked into life at Wembley.
Well, Stoke City pressing, getting free kicks, getting the ball into the box, looking dangerous. Then Man City on the counter-attack.
Here's Toure from Balotelli's ball through. Lescott is in the penalty area. Tevez is there! And it was deflected behind for a corner.
Well, what an opportunity that Silva had to start with on that counter-attack. This is the second one. Good movement from Tevez in the box. Just see him on the right of the pitcher. Works hard to get away from his man. Just can't sweep it in.
Alexander Kolarov. Headed away by Walters. That's Barry. And that was a swinger.
Good defending from Stoke. I think it was John Walters in the box there, winning the first header, but it was Silva that had the real opportunity. Tevez racing away here from Whelan, does well to turn. Wilkinson's overplayed it there. Should be round on the cover. That's the touch. Now he's looking to get it on his left foot. And by that time, great recovery runs from Stoke players.
You mentioned the home and away conundrum for Stoke City, borne out by the fact they're 11 games unbeaten at their Britannia Stadium. Only won one of their last 8 played away from Stoke. That was here in the semi. This is Richards, but he was always going to be beaten by Sorensen to that.
Great vision from David Silva. That's when he plays with his right foot, stops it with his left, then plays it with his right inside Wilson. Sorensen read it well. Had to be alive, the goalkeeper.
Here's Tevez. Loses the ball to Whelan. That was a really good tackle. We're seeing more of him and Delap in the middle for Stoke now. And Kenwyne Jones is through the middle at the sharp end. Jones, he's in! Kenwyne Jones denied by Hart. Now he's made a save, and what a vital one it was.
Well, it's really good play from Kenwyne Jones. This is just a ball over the top. Lescott didn't deal with it particularly well. He does everything right. He tries to play it below Joe Hart as he jumps, but Joe Hart got out quickly and made a really good save. But Lescott was really found wanting here. Ball over the top. Lescott should always be favourite. He allows Jones to get behind him. What a chance. What a chance.
What a good save from Hart. He gambled, he made himself big, he got there, he was brave. Here's a change. Etherington. Well, I didn't think he'd last the distance. He's lasted just more than an hour. Dean Whitehead to come on. Interesting that Jermaine Pennant will stay out there then.
Well, it shows what a good physio I would have been.
There he is, finding Silva. Toure to Tevez. Tevez just manages to keep it and shoot. Routine save for Thomas Sorensen.
Yeah, I'd love to have hit that a little bit better. Man City had 2 players racing in case Sorensen had dropped it, mishandled it. It was a good turn from Tevez. First touch wasn't great, showed good strength to get away from the challenge.
Sorensen with the launch. Lescott against Jones. This time Lescott was much stronger. Whitehead. Closed down by De Jong. Stoke's ball.
Over comes Rory Delap. And what usually happens here, Pennant goes over to the other side and they'll stay like that for 2 or 3 minutes.
short cross is up in the box for Stoke.
He has a constant argument, Tony Pulis, with Pennant about this, going over to the far side. He turned his back. Pennant doesn't really want to go out there.
And it comes from Rory Delap, floating on the breeze. That's Wilkinson. Never scored for Stoke. This is game number 122. What a way to start. What a day to start this would be. Manchester City have caught the disease that Stoke were inflicted by in the first half. Here's the change. Barry is going off. Johnson is coming on. And that will mean a reshuffle. Gareth Barry, who was a runner-up at the old Wembley in 2000 with Aston Villa against Chelsea. He'll want a different medal from this one, but he won't be on the field at the finish. Here's Tevez. De Jong. Didn't want another go. Silva. Balotelli. Silva again. Balotelli. Pinball. Toure! Manchester City have one hand on the FA Cup. Yaya Toure, their semi-final hero, gives them the lead on final day.
Well, it's good play from David Silva. There's a great little touch from Balotelli in there. But Yaya Toure, when the ball goes in, ricocheted off a couple of players, then he just smashes it with his left foot. That's the power. Watch the combination play. Balotelli, little back heel. Silva does well because he's beaten the first time. Gets it back into a dangerous area, and when it falls for Yaya Toure, he gets his standing leg off the ground, he gets his knee over the ball, and there's nobody going to stop this. Well played, David Silva.
One blast of Yaya Toure power has got Manchester City fans doing the Poznan. A show of celebration from Mancini, Kidd and Co on the bench. It's him again. It's the man who was 28 years old yesterday. Happy birthday, Yaya Toure. Could be bringing the best present of all back to Manchester for his club. Here's Delap. Through to Jones. Lescott has dealt with him this time.
And I think Jones has got to play on Lescott. I think Company's a much better defender than Lescott is. I think Jones will get the better of the England man.
Taken away from Sorensen. Seemed to strike the hand of Delap. It's advantage with Manchester City anyway. It's Johnson. Just to get away from Wilson, at least briefly. Wilson back at him but can't stop him. Johnson twisting, turning, running. Silva's effort is blocked. Straight against Whitehead.
Great play from Adam Johnson. Not only did he go past his man Wilson, had the composure and the awareness to find David Silva, who tried to play it with the outside of his left foot.
Here's Pennant. Wilkinson outside. Cross comes Lescott. Behind for a goal kick. They have waited such a long time to get even close to this. Last FA Cup final 1981, 30 years ago. Lost in a replay to that Argentinian-inspired Tottenham team.
What a great side they were, that Man City team at the time. John Bond, the manager.
Here is nuisance value. John Carew is ready to add his weight and height to the Stoke battle. Rory Delap is making way. I think it's going to be a double change with Danny Pugh ready too. They're just hanging fire with that one. Well, it's Carew on. Lots can happen when he's on the field.
Imagine the difference between winning the Coppa Italia and winning the FA Cup is totally different.
Oh, even he will say this is much more special.
They also have to play a lot more games to get to the final in England.
Manchester City corner. Sorensen did his best to stop the ball crossing the line.
Once
Kolarov
again,
who got the
Kolarov.
crossing.
Sorry, once again, Kolarov getting forward. Jermaine Pennant having to run back. He's got a bit of stick off the Man City fans around us here, Kolarov at times, but he certainly had a decent game.
David Silva has Tevez close at hand. 7.5 minutes of the 90 to go. It's Tevez. One time to keep the ball in the corner. There'll be a bit more football to be played by Manchester City yet. Tevez has lost it. Pennant. Whitehead. Had to be a little quicker. Wilkinson up to Carew. Scott leaves it to Kolarov. Just enough on that for Joe Hart, but the keeper had to hurry. Carew closing him down. It's a big obstacle to have in your way.
Well, Stoke need a couple of free kicks in the attacking half of the field and get the ball into the box and keep the pressure on. Don't think they're going to open up Man City in general play.
Here's Jones. Straight against the chest of Lescott. Toure. Here's Balotelli. He's got Shawcross backing away. He's got Silva here to help him. David Silva! Sorensen has lost it. Robert Huth is there. Adam Johnson was nearly there.
Well, David Silva, he knew exactly what he was doing here. There was nothing else for him. On for him, he goes between the legs of Ryan Shawcross. Very much over one side of the goal, Sorensen. He was almost beyond his near post.
Franny Lee, Tony Book, Mike Summerby. 1969, Manchester City's last FA Cup winners. You can just see, greats of the game, they've seen it all, but they're on the edge of their seats. Sorensen has to go long. Walter's waiting for it. Now Carew will try and stay in front of Kompany. He's done it. It's John Carew. Needed to get rid a little sooner. Tevez. Here's Kolarov. Now Balotelli. Manchester City are 4 minutes away. De Jong. Let the ball run away. It's Lescott. David Platt at the top of your picture, urging everybody out and forward. Don't want to sit back and invite Stoke to get even one chance to level.
It's amazing when you win in. The assistant manager comes to the side of the pitch.
Lots of arm waving. I'm sure they all know what it means. Little nick. Carew. Goal kick.
Well, he is a threat in the air. He's much better when they've got in-swinging crosses coming in, John Carew.
No goal for Tevez on FA Cup final day, but his usual industry. He's almost gone the distance. He's only just come back to fitness. I wonder whether he is fully fit. You wouldn't believe there was any doubt at all.
No, he had some really good moments in the game. Right at the start, he had that shot that was saved by Sorensen. He linked up the play well.
One Argentine for another. Zabaleta for Tevez. De Jong. 1981, it was Diaz and Villa, two Argentinians who put paid to Manchester City's FA Cup hopes. Well, Tevez has done his bit. Here's another. Zabaleta. And here's an Italian. Balotelli. Kept his head and the ball well. Zabaleta. Hard to judge on a one-off, but this might be the day Mario Balotelli has come of age. Matured, at least for today. Toure. Balotelli. It's blocked, it's a corner.
Once again, it was Yaya Toure playing the ball to Balotelli and making the forward run, trying to just inject a bit of pace into the move.
Balotelli. Silva. Magician with the ball at his feet. Kolarov with the throw-in. Back to Nigel de Jong. We're ticking around into time added on to the end of the FA Cup final. Balotelli to Yaya Toure. Touré's turn didn't deceive Pugh. At least 3 more minutes to play. That's what Stoke have left to find a goal in.
Advise Yaya Touré to get back. He's now got to do a bit of defending.
Not showing any desire to do that. Manchester City effectively down to 10 in that end of the field. That's Kolarov. Yaya Touré looks a spent force, to be quite honest.
Really what you want from your holding midfield player.
Sorensen. Flying through the air comes Micah Richards. Stoke have the chance to get the ball up there again. Balotelli trying to close Wilson down. Short cross, an extra striker now. It's Kompany's header. It's Walters to Whitehead. Into the 2nd minute of injury time. Whitehead. He's beaten Zabaleta. It's Carew. He didn't get a contact on it. Nearly came to Pennant. It is Jermaine Pennant. It's blocked. It's behind. It's a Stoke City corner. There is life left in Stoke City yet.
That was the one I thought Carew would score with. That in-swinging cross. That's what he used to have at Aston Villa with Ashley Young. Used to deliver crosses in. Just flicks it with the inside of it. Sorensen coming up now.
Wouldn't that be an FA Cup story? Manchester City change before Stoke take the corner. David Silva is going on. Patrick Vieira is coming on. Vieira, who played in 3 FA Cup final wins for Arsenal. 1998, 2002, 2005. Is 2011 about to be added to his collection?
They always say never make a change when you're defending a corner.
Thomas Sorensen is up in the mix for Stoke. Jermaine Pennant will take the corner. What happens next could be so important. It's Pennant. It's flicked by De Jong. It's come to Pugh. Sorensen stays there. Out comes Hart. Not cleanly away. Pennant. Still a chance. Deflected behind by Vieira. Important already. Corner Stoke. Here they come again. They've scored some late goals this season, the Potters. They need one now more than ever before. Tony Pulis, whose heart was broken by a late Manchester City goal here in 1999 when Gillingham manager in the playoffs. Is it revenge time? It's Pennant in. It was Shawcross, it's wide, it's a goal kick. And that might be it. That might mean the FA Cup is Manchester City's to take home. Hart, up and away to glory for Manchester City. The wait is over. The first trophy since 1976. Roberto Mancini has brought it home to the sky blue half of Manchester. That banner at Old Trafford that has mocked Manchester United's rivals' lack of success along the years will have to come down. The blue moon is rising. Manchester City are the FA Cup winners. Ryan Shawcross is a disappointed Stoke City captain. Stoke, the 55th different club to play in an FA Cup final. Sadly for them, they've gone the way of the last debutants, Millwall, who were blown away by Manchester United 7 years ago. Not been blown away, Stoke, but it's been a pretty similar game in terms of balance of play. Only one team really dominant. Not the medal Ryan Shawcross and his players came to Wembley to collect today. I'm pretty sure Stoke City as a club, and certainly their supporters, will shrug this off pretty quickly though. Well, they're a club going the right way.
And this is great to see. Quite often I've been here at Wembley, when the losing team go up to get their medals, most of their fans have gone. Nearly every one of the Stoke City supporters are still here, ready to cheer on their team.
I remember being here at the end of February, Birmingham City against Arsenal in the League Cup. The Arsenal was deserted when Birmingham went up, and indeed when Arsenal went up. They were already on the tubes and buses home. You're right, Stuart. Carlos Tevez leads his team up the steps to take the trophy, get his winner's medal, take the honours, and go down in Manchester City history. When you haven't won a trophy since 1976, the next group of players to do it, we're always going to be fated forever. And it would be fitting if he keeps that red and black scarf on. Those were the colours they wore in 1969. The goal-scoring hero that day, Neil Young, sadly passed away in February after a long battle with cancer. There was a feeling around the football club that, as a result of that, it was a poignant moment. This was the time when that duck would be broken and the FA Cup would come back. There's the man who made the goal in '69, Mike Summerby, who still, when you meet him and talk to him, just about the biggest Man City fan around.
He was a wonderful winger, wasn't he? Great winger, crosses in.
The ribbons are on, the ribbons are blue. Manchester City are FA Cup winners. Multi-millionaires, every one of them. That's not why you play the game. These are the moments why those at the top rise to the top and play football. And Roberto Mancini brings a trophy to Manchester City. Lovely moment too for Bernard Halford. For 50 years he's been involved in the professional game, first with Oldham, then with Manchester City. For many, he is Mr. Manchester City. Now he gets the chance to lift the trophy again with the now traditional scenes of frenzied celebration from the players.